Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way! And today we are reviewing the ride of the Kingsong 18L. So let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way! And first up, also big thanks to Voltride for providing me this wheel for testing purposes. If you want to buy any of their products, feel free to check out the link in the description and use my coupon code. This is not yet a review of the wheel, be on the lookout for that and maybe subscribe if you want to see that. I will just tell you about my feelings toward the ride and all in all, general performance and feeling of this wheel. And as you can see here, this is a 25-degree steep hill. It has quite a bit of torque. Definitely not as much as the Kingsong 16X, and maybe you'll see that later too if you stay till the end of the video, but it's still a lot, and especially on the low end here on the 35-degree steep hill. Well, if I wouldn't slip out and also destroy the lens of my Insta360 One X2 in the process, it can tackle quite a bit, and this incline is actually a problem for most high-speed wheels, like for example the Bigoda S high speed, or I don't know, other high-speed wheels. And with this one, I could feel that I had still quite a bit of torque left. So if you're a heavier rider, it should do, especially in those lower speeds. I didn't test yet the 40-degree incline, but that is something I'll do in the future. If I also had a seat, this would be also a pretty comfortable wheel to ride on seated. But still, if you're a heavier rider, i.e. 90 or 100 kilograms plus, I'd still choose the 16X between those two because it just has more torque. And with this wheel, it's easier for me to overpower it. And I think also at higher speeds, it just doesn't have the same amount of headroom. Now, it also has a progressive tilt back, so if you're going too fast, then you'll know and it will slow you down. And especially with the 18L, I feel like it kicks in a bit earlier than on the 18XL, which has a bigger battery. But the tilt back is good. Like, it's very sudden, especially at lower battery, but I'd rather have that than falling flat on my face. And talking about falling flat on my face, I nearly did that here because Warsaw government doesn't care about the safety of the users of the cycling path by not snow plowing and not de-icing those. But anyways, here we are on a bit of a more off-roady path on the 18L, and this wheel has a narrower tire than the 16X. It's a 18-inch, so the diameter is bigger, but the tire itself is narrower by 2.5, and you can definitely feel that. I feel like the bumps might be a bit more pronounced, and I'm pretty certain that I can't pop curbs so nicely here like I could on the 16X because there's just like less beef, less meat on the tire. The good thing about it is that there's no train tracking, and if you don't know what train tracking is, essentially the wheel forces you to turn in one or the other direction if the surface isn't flat, and there's really nothing of that sort here. Maybe just the tiniest of bits, but definitely a lot less than the 16X, making this wheel really comfy for longer rides. And because the pedals are also low, it's also very stable at basically any speeds. If you know maybe Monsieur Flex, and if you don't, then check out his channel. He did a world tour on the 18XL, and that already says a lot. Here I'm also doing some stairs, going upstairs. It's not the first attempt, definitely was like a 10 for 11th, but it does have the torque to climb up there. The low end torque of this wheel is definitely very satisfying. But going back to the cruising, this wheel definitely feels the best in the city and sort of just for comfortable errands, and that is what the 18L or XL is for. And here I'm just lifting it up. I don't need to press any button. The lift sensor is in this trolley handle / handle combo, and I just go down the stairs. It's super easy. Pedals are also in a flat shape, they're not V-shaped, so this is also good for comfort, but not the best for a sporty ride. Anyways, now we are testing pedal dipping, so if the pedals stay flat on turns or not. And here I was a bit surprised because especially on very long turns, and this is a very long turn, that's why I test wheels here, I can feel the pedals dip quite a bit actually on this wheel. and perhaps like halfway through the corner, like when I did 90 degrees, then it feels especially pronounced. And I did this in both ways, both left turns and right turns, and I feel like to the right there's just a tad less. Maybe I need to calibrate it again, but it's still there. So in both directions there's a small bit of pedal dipping, nothing really, you know, game breaking or really bad, but it's still there. And on longer turns, I guess the 16X might be just a bit better, because there I didn't feel it at all. And while other wheels keep getting heavier and heavier, this wheel is rather light. Well, this version anyways, at around 21 or 22 kilograms, but the 18XL is also around 23 or 24, I'll have to look it up, kilograms. So it's still doable to like lift it up some stairs, or it's convenient to take it up in a train. Here, going through a bit of sand, you can do it. It's not the best tire for that, but if your long journey includes a bit of off-road, the 18XL or 18L can do it, but it feels, as said, again for me, the best on good roads. Now we're doing the 30-degree incline, and I'm testing a bit if it would overpower if I pull a bit more strong, but it doesn't. And yeah, my Velcro doesn't stick so well to the shell. But here I wanted to do my going down and then going up in one go, and I totally overpowered the wheel. This is something that wouldn't happen on the 16X. So if you're into hard off-roading, yeah, the 16X is better, or if you're a heavier rider. I like the tall trolley handle again. Very easy to push the wheel up, also because of the leverage. And here you can see my disappointment about the weather in Poland. Now we are testing out if there's any pedal dipping on bumps, and the speed here is a bit lower than usual, but throughout the testing of this wheel, and probably did already around 100-150 kilometers on it, I don't feel anything like that at all. It feels very planted, very stable. And you see me riding in snow too. This wheel is pretty well water resistant, however it doesn't have a rating. So I hope that future wheels by Kingsong will have it. And also don't do like, I know, excessive inclines and super performance tests all the time. This will decrease the lifespan of your wheel, and don't like throw it around so much. Just a couple of disclaimers. But Kingsong does have pretty good warnings for overheating, over torquing the wheel. Like at any point, like I get beeps before something bad happens. Or if I were to overheat it, then it would also shut down. So I really like the safety aspect here, although, you know, the performance for sure could be better. The 18L is also a bit of a wheel in a weird spot, because there's also the V10F, Emotion V10F, that is way cheaper. However, I feel like the quality on this one is different. Like it's heavier than the V10F, it feels different, but it's also faster. I think that the range is also much bigger, and I feel just the durability and quality is better. Well, except maybe for the trolley, which in mine doesn't work so well, and one LED is broken, but I think those things can be fixed fairly easily, and they don't change the ride of your wheel. And yeah, I also think the lights are pretty good. So now we are riding on snow or slush, and it also can handle that. Yeah, I think this wheel is just made for cruising from point A to point B. It doesn't really care much about the circumstances. It just does its job. And if you have a 18L or 18XL, please feel free to share your experiences with it. As said, not the fastest wheel out there. It goes 50, but usually I would probably go 30 to 40. But yeah, for just going like a workhorse, I think it works pretty well. So now I hope you liked this sort of video. I hope I explained the ride feeling to you pretty well. I like the pedal feel of this wheel too. It's very stable and it's responsive, you know, sort of what you're doing. And also in the practical terms, as you can see here, the trolley handle works amazing. It's really tall and it's really practical, and as you've seen before, the lift switch is also there. So if you like this video, leave a like on it, subscribe to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon. I hope the weather will get better. you.